Today's the day the Department of State is supposed to certify last Tuesday's election, and for most results, that will happen. But things are still unsettled in the Republican race for U.S. Senate between Mehmet Oz and Dave McCormick. About an hour ago, the Department of State made a decision that could affect the outcome. Dennis Owens live at the state capitol in Harrisburg with our top story. Good afternoon, Dennis.
Well, good afternoon to you, James. The big question and the focus right now is on mail-in ballots that were returned without a person signing them and dating them. That's important because the law says you're supposed to sign and date those mail-in ballots. Should they count? What happens if a voter sends one in and there's no date on it, or there's the wrong date on it? In the past, they were not counted, but a federal court ruling from just this past Friday from a case from a year ago in Lehigh County, the federal court says go ahead and count those mail-in ballots, even if they don't have a date on them, if they were turned in on time. About an hour ago, the Pennsylvania Department of State issued guidance to all 67 counties agreeing with that court ruling, saying they should count mail-ins date or no date. The counties had been holding those ballots aside. Now, this is important because the McCormick team believes that those mail-in ballots are breaking for them. He believes the more mail-ins that are counted, the better chance he has. He has trailed Mehmet Oz by about 1,000 votes since Election Day. The McCormick team filed suit arguing that those undated mail-ins should be counted. I spoke to him about it yesterday.
I'm willing to accept whatever the results will be, as long as every vote's counted, and that's what I'll be fighting for. I'm confident that if we count every Republican vote, that's going to be beneficial to me, and ultimately I'll prevail.
James, allow me to sum this up for you in English. The election needs to be certified by 5 o'clock today. That can't happen in the race between McCormick and Oz. It is just too close. We're going to have a recount because if it's less than half a percentage point, there's an automatic recount that's triggered. That's going to happen. But when we start to recount, what are we recounting? The state says go ahead and count those mail-in ballots that were not dated. McCormick is suing, says you must count them. Oz likely to sue and has threatened to sue and say you must not. In his tweet, the Oz campaign in a tweet tweeted that it doesn't think that those should be counted because the state Supreme Court and the law says that those ballots are not to be counted. So there's going to be a fight, James, in the courts. A fight, and every time you go to the courts, the trust of the system in the court of public opinion takes a hit. It looks like that's where we're headed in this race. That's the story from the Capitol. Let's send it back to you.
I mean, you're definitely right about that, Dennis. So I want to pick your brain here and maybe put you on the spot at least, and I don't mean to, but what are we talking about here in terms of numbers? How many of these votes are we talking about with all of this?
Well, so I can tell you about Dauphin County. Dauphin County has 50 ballots that are not dated. 32 of them Democrat, 18 of them are Republican. They're just sitting there. They're being held aside. If you extrapolate that out over, all 67 counties, that could be as much or more than 1,200 votes. So could be significant, could be important. Are they all breaking for McCormick? I'm not sure about that, but certainly the McCormick people believe that is definitely the case. So there are a number of votes sitting there. The people didn't date them when they sent them in. And what's weird about this is when you request a mail-in ballot, the county knows it. When you turn your mail-in ballot in, the county knows it and sends you notification that, hey, we got your ballot. Why does whatever somebody wrote on their ballot even matter at that point? As long as you know James Crummell sent the mail in, we got James Crummell's mail in, why are we not counting James Crummell's vote if he failed to put the proper date or put a date? But the other side says the law says you're supposed to put the date on it, so make sure you do that. So that's to be decided yet. James, to the courts we go. Let's send it back to you.
Absolutely. All right, here we go indeed. All right, Dennis, thank you very much live for us today at the state capitol in Harrisburg.